Hello everybody, this is Alex from Hardcore Guide, doing my guide for Evil West on Evil difficulty. Today we're doing Chapter 7 entitled Smoke and Mirrors. Funny enough, this chapter has always been the chapter that's given me the most crap. There's a few reasons why. There's that forced section that for some strange reason, I always miss something every single time. It doesn't matter what it is, I'm always missing something. And we mentioned this last time about the whole rage mode thing. Like, when the hell do I get it again? Well, here you go. So, yeah, you get rage mode now. I wanted to show that off because not only do I get rage mode, but I think I also buy a perk while we're here. I like to show these little, intervals off just a little bit so you guys can kind of just tell what's going on. Do we have protect our projectile block? I think we actually do. But I just bought the all pickups from a range, so we'll be also buying other upgrades in this chapter as well. But not only in the forest area, just to go back to what I was talking about, the forest area do I tend to forget at least one item every time, it seems. It's always different too, which is annoying. The boss of this stage has always been, in my opinion, one of the hardest bosses of the entire game. Along with, I think, like chapter 15, I think it was, where you fight your dad. Regardless, definitely always gave me the most crap. And then there's also that chapter where you're fighting like 3 different bad guys at once or whatever. That one also kind of sucks. Looks like I might have to restart my computer after this because for some reason the game was super laggy. I don't know what was going on, but I've been having these weird issues, like these weird PC issues recently. Things have been bothering me. I think right now what's happening on screen is most likely just the video itself being crap, but as far as I know, like, the game itself, well, the video itself should be fine, but it was like the game, I did notice that the game was kind of having some lag issues, so I'll try to do what I can to fix it for the next chapter. It's not really a big deal, but still, though, hopefully nothing goes wrong. I assume that none of this video should be desynced. I can always just check the sync later on, just to be on the safe side. So that way, if anything was wrong, I can just restart the commentary and fix it because this stuff is just ridiculous. You're trying to do something and just every time you're trying to do something, a guide, a let's play, a stream, something's got to go wrong. All right, so now we have the introduction of these enemies. These ones are really, really annoying, but they're really not that bad in this particular chapter until the boss fight. So pretty much just shoot them down as they come through, and then I recommend just shooting all of your shots just to kind of reload your rifle so you have it on standby in case you're going to need it for potential enemies that might pop up later. Just to give yourself kind of the advantage in these types of fights. If you have the time to blast it, go ahead and do it because these guys will pop back up. They don't count as a weak spot, so you don't get the bullet back if you have that upgrade. But I think there is actually an upgrade for it later where you can actually make it to where if you get a kill, I think it actually keeps a bullet for you. I think so. I could be wrong. But either way, that fight, I did die on that fight, but it's not too bad, really. I don't know what I was doing. I was being kind of goofy. I kept trying to go for the unblockable kick, but I thought that, my dumbass decided to not do that and instead just try to block it. Kind of forgot that you're supposed to not block attacks in this game, but you're supposed to, kick unblockable attacks that are coming your way. Yeah, this is like super laggy. What the hell's going on? I do kind of want to quit just to be on the safe side, but I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's fine, but I don't know, I really don't know. These are the types of things you have to be really careful about because things just like to go wrong like all the time. I don't know what's up with that. All right, so next part, once again, just taking out taking the guys from a distance. It's better just to use a rifle because that's pretty much the most optimal way of doing it. Any other way, I don't really know anything else to take them out with because they'll just blow up pretty much on contact. Like, if they're just close enough, they will blow up. So, and then I use this guy to essentially get myself out of that little bit of a scuffle. Then this guy wants to try to come over here and fight me as well, and I have a bunch of projectiles blasting at me. This is essentially Evil West's way of teaching you again about crowd control. So I recommend getting the invincibility upgrade just because it helps you in a pinch. And I just said, screw it, I'm not losing this. So I just whipped out rage mode. If you want to do that too, you can. I recommend saving rage mode for when you really need it. So, there is another boss fight that's coming up soon that I would say is probably better to use it for there. However, getting rage mode back is not that hard because you just essentially just beat up enemies and you get it. Did I come from there? I just looked to the side and I saw a thing I could probably jump up to. Don't tell me I forgot another thing again. Oh my god. I can't do this, man. I cannot find anything in this stinking game anymore, it seems. Because for some reason, I'm just not that aware, I guess. I don't know. Like it matters. We're more focused on like beating the enemies than we are anything else. Upgrades do help out a ton. And I would argue that most likely this game would probably be a lot harder without upgrades. I just get the feeling that it would be. So, alright. That's done with. I still have no clue what that shaking is. That's been going on all goddamn day. I keep having this weird sort of... If you heard that, it probably picked up on the mic, but my place just keeps shaking for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Alright, now we get access to the flamethrower, and you're going to see me fumble with it quite a bit because I completely forgot how to even whip out the damn thing. I'm over here just being an idiot, not remembering how to actually shoot it, because I thought, like, oh, I aim and shoot. No, you hit left on the D-pad, and then you hit R2. So it's more like a hip-fire gun. Just remember that. Fire is really good against the weaker fodder enemies because, as you can tell, it just completely eliminates them. And I think that's pretty much the point of it. I don't really use the flamethrower that often, so you probably won't see me upgrade it too much, or really even at all. It's just a decent, okay weapon that has a really long cooldown that I do not like. I do not appreciate the really extensively long cooldown of it. I think there's an upgrade to make it to where you can make it probably shorter, but I'm not sure. And then you're going to see me real quick just kind of just goof around and try to look for anything I might have missed just in case. And you can't go back, so I wasn't sure. It has been, again, it's been a while since I played this game. I probably should have just played the game again, either as a Let's Play or something, so I can get kind of familiar with it and remember where stuff is at. So that way I can do a guide proper, but it's okay, it's fine. It's no big deal, you know, things happen. It's not the most perfect guide out there, but it's my guide, so, you know, things are going to happen, things are going to break, things are not going to be, well, probably good. I'm going to do a quick sync test real quick to find out if we're good, so it's going to crack now. There we go, okay. I want to make sure that everything is just perfect. Now, I'm going to do another sync probably at the end of the video, just to be doubly sure, because I have no clue if this thing's screwed up completely or not. Yeah, nothing really surprising or nothing really crazy is going on right now. You really don't have a lot of super hard fights in this chapter. It's kind of a short chapter in comparison to a lot of other things. The only real fight to really worry about, truly, is going to be the boss fight, the Parasiter. That's the only thing I can think of, dead offhand, that will give you that much grief. Because it's always given me so much grief back then. This fight coming up, this is where I recommend probably using Rage, but I don't think I ended up doing that. I might have. I just played this like not that long ago. I've already forgotten. The game now teaches you that, yes, by the way, you can uppercut enemies into bigger enemies. It's not something I usually do very often, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. This guy does spawn enemies, by the way, so be careful of that. I think they want you to use Flamethrower here, but I decide to say screw all that noise because it takes forever to charge. I use a little bit of it, like what I have, but for the most part, I don't even really care about it. Now, be careful with that unblockable attack. If enemies are in front of you, don't even bother trying to go for it. Just do a dodge. As cool as it would be to land it every single time, this can happen. So the targeting system will kick in, and it will make it to where you're only focusing priority on whoever's right in front of you. Sometimes it can do that, like I just did there, where I'm hitting this guy, and then the priority does kick in and let me hit him. But unfortunately, that's, you know, not how that works. So it does suck when that happens, but it can happen. Be careful about that. Just if he's going to go for an unblockable attack, just dodge it. You're better off just fighting off all the little griefers first before you are anything else. I do use Rage. Okay, so I do recommend using Rage in this fight, specifically on mainly the boss fight itself. Not really the fodder enemies. You know, go ahead and kill them too, but primarily try to just see if you can get most, if not all, of your Rage attacks out onto the boss. So that way you can just kind of get through this faster because, as you can tell, he does spawn enemies. And every single time, I'm really slow on the quick draw. Yeah, that's because, you know, I suck. And huge amounts of lag in the video. I hope that's not going to screw anything. I don't think it will, but you never know. We'll have to check the sync in a bit. Yeah, get him down, go for the stun. Watch out, because in this next wave, enemies like the big exploding enemies will spawn, so that's something to be careful of. I want to say that the slam attack does actually do damage to the other guys, but I don't think so. Doesn't look like it really does. Oof. Missed that one, but, you know, we still got the finisher on the enemy. That's something else to kind of go for, too, but that's just normal Evil West stuff. The pattern, you know, you can probably pretty much just tell by this point. The pattern in this game is essentially just grapple enemies, pummel, and then go for the finisher, so you get the iframes. Or just at least be an animation that will not get you attacked. That's kind of usually the thing there. I did panic a little bit. I'm like, oh god, please just go for an attack so I can parry it and I can get a pummel going, but I didn't. By the way, if you don't remember or haven't seen the earlier chapters, I do have an upgrade that allows me to get, if I ever hit a weak spot, or I think enemies just spawn health just naturally sometimes. But I do have a thing that makes it to where I think enemies spawn health more often, and also whenever I hit a weak spot with a rifle. So you'll be seeing those pop up quite consistently, and that kind of helps out with the whole micromanaging the enemies. All right, gonna jump up now. So just, you know, like I said, just syncing up things, making sure everything's okay. Now on to the Leech Forest. Oh, great. This one's going to take a little while. It's kind of annoying, but all the enemies are not that bad. So you have nothing really inherently to worry about. It's just trying to find stuff. And I'm going to let you know when there's something that I did miss, because I know exactly what I missed and where at. So to get into here, all you have to do is just go around this rock up here, and then come down this little trail, which I was like, what the heck? What'd I fall down for? Like, oh, okay. Get some gold, open chest, and get even more gold, and possibly a gun or a skin. There you go. So, there you are. Also, my chair's like super squeaky. I don't know what's going on with that. Alright, before you jump down. Actually, did I even get that chest? I think I did. Okay. Not right here, but there's like another thing I think you can jump down to eventually. You'll see what I'm talking about. Real quick, with the flamethrower, just whip it out and just lightly tap it on the trees. That way you can save energy and not have to waste any. As you can tell, it just kind of works. It doesn't look like I'm doing anything, but I actually am. I'm clicking it slightly, so that way, again, like I said, it doesn't waste the fire. I get huge Bionicle Hero vibes from this whenever I see trees burning like this. Jailer's upgrade. For those that are curious of what I'm talking about. His main item upgrade, whatever you want to call it. I forget what it was exactly called. But grab this chest, and then somewhere around here, there should be a place where I think it's up there to the top left, I think. There's going to be like a tree you can kind of swing across. No, it's not there. Damn it. I probably already missed it, actually, if anything. I'm sure I probably already screwed up, so I wouldn't be surprised. No, I think we're still fine. This should be just be a quite linear hallway section, so I'm just kind of picking off enemies from across the way, doing what I can, making sure I just get some extra little kills going. Because why not? These guys are just really annoying, especially the ones that spawn the little acid ball things. I hate that crap. The cock cage bastards. These guys are just really obnoxious to deal with, but that's just kind of the thing with Evil West is you'll always be fighting really annoying things, and you gotta kind of have to figure out how to deal with said annoying things. So you got to micromanage pretty much everything for the most part. Not micromanage, but just manage mostly. You get some gold here, and I think, yeah, before you jump off, sorry, to the left, there's a tree branch. Swing to it, and there you go. Let me mute my mic real quick. Hold on. There we go. Okay. I might cut that out, might not. It doesn't really matter. Hanging guy there. And then, of course, just shoot these guys down. Sorry, but I had to clear my throat because it's been doing that all day. Take these guys out. And like I said, I know the chest I missed. And it was like that little tree branch that you can kind of swing over. And I will show you the tree branch later and make sure you guys know what I'm talking about. But you have to get it before you jump down here. That's the problem. That's the first fucking problem I have. And it sucks every time because like I always miss one little thing. Always. And sometimes it's usually that. So you think by now I would have remembered that it was there. I knew there was something along the side of it, or at least something like it. I just didn't know where it was, or when to drop down, or whatever. So that's why I have to be probably a little bit more prominent with my exploration skills. This leads into the next area, so you can... There is like a slight fork in the road, but it doesn't really lead to much. That was pretty much just kind of the fork in the road to begin with, because if you come this way, you can fight more guys. However, you will still end up at that other section. And if you come up here, below the tree branch that you jump across, you can find this chest. So again, for those who are wondering, how do you get up there? Well, this tree above you. However, you need to make sure you don't fall down here first. That's the first issue. And I was like, what the hell? Like, what do I do? How do I get up there again? Spent like majority of this time looking around, trying to figure it out. But little did I know, I already screwed up. So, oh well, I mean, you know how it goes. Things happen. It sucks. What can you do? Really not much besides just eat it, take the L, and just go. Because, well, it's Evil West. You know, you can still get everything. Well, you can still get good upgrades without all that cash money. You know, you don't really need everything. You don't need all the electric upgrades. They do help a lot. It's just that it's not insanely necessary. The upgrades that I recommend, I already pretty much got most of them anyway. And if I recommend upgrading anything more, it's definitely going to be the shotgun and the rifle. I think those are like the two most important guns to get. Because everything else is just kind of for fun. Other perks, I can't remember dead offhand, but perks are at least a lot easier to come by. It's just mainly gold that you miss out on. So, try to get enough gold to at least upgrade in level 3 for each of the shotgun and the rifle. So that way, you get the main upgrades for them, like cooldown, weak spot shots, or something like that. I think it was. You know, the typical usual thing that you get. Alright, so once again, having a freak out, trying to figure out how to quickly switch between guns. L2 or LT, basically aim with a rifle. That's one way you can kind of quick switch, because holding up doesn't do anything. Hitting left on the D-pad will take the flamethrower back down, but you know, if you want a quick swap, you'll have to essentially use L2 or something to do that. It's really annoying. I wish evading would do it, but it doesn't. I don't know why. Maybe going for a punch might work, but yeah, I don't really use the flamethrower that much, so... Alright, now I'm just going to go back, double check on some things, and then this is just pretty much just me trying to figure out, like, what the heck did I do wrong, you know? I could have cut it out, but I want to show you guys where specifically this thing was. Well, pretty much I guess you could say, like, I eventually figured out, like, oh, okay. It's a tree. God damn it. Sorry, I just chipped my throat. God. Oh. It seems to happen a lot whenever I do commentary, like, all day. I did another stream yet again today, so... voice is kind of out of it, and I keep getting these goddamn scratches in my throat, and I hate it. I don't mean to do that, it happens. So, let me clear again real quick. There we go, okay. Again, sorry about muting the mic. This video was it's just all over the place. I'm sorry. It's gonna have to happen at some point, you know. I there's not much. I can reset the commentary at best, but, you know, it's okay. I don't think anybody really probably cares all that much. I hope it doesn't bother anybody. I assume it won't. If anything, it bothers me more because it's like, God damn it, why can't you be professional? Why can't you just make these videos work? But I can't seem to do that because things just don't like to work with me. Alright, quick sync real fast. And passing the electric. There you go. Okay, well. Might have been a little bit off, but that's okay. Let's see. Another fight coming up. Once again, this is going to be one of those fights where it's going to have multiple spawners. I'm going to buy some upgrades first, and then I'm going to check on the upgrades, make sure they actually stayed. They did. Thank goodness. So yes, if you do buy upgrades before you die, those upgrades do stay, which is nice. So this fight's a little hard, not going to lie. This one's a little bit tough, but I think we'll be okay. That's a good move. That's a good upgrade to get to. By the way, I do recommend that one a little bit. just because it's nice to get that little extra energy so you can keep yourself going. But for now, I just get rifle damage, and then I do buy a perk. So let's go check that out real quick. Whenever I decide to do it, I guess. I'm looking for things. Can't upgrade that yet until I upgrade the muscle one. That's a good move to get to. I don't know why I haven't actually bought it yet. Well, there, I bought it that time. So now we do have it. I don't really use it all that often. It just kind of happens. And here's me just checking, making sure that my stuff is okay. And back into the action. So exploding guys first. Not that bad. Just wipe out the whole wave. And once again, I recommend just at least maybe shooting, wasting your rifle before the next group spawns, so that way you can make sure you're fully reloaded, just in case. Because, you know, being reloaded at all times is a saving grace. Especially for things like that, like these guys that like to stay too far away, and then you get that weak spot shot, so it's really useful. And again, if you do get a finisher, you can use the grapple mechanic to basically get that free finisher. And then for this fight, I recommend just running around the room. Well, not really running around the room, but more so kind of using the grapple to your advantage and keeping away, staying away, and just kind of hit these guys. The unblockable attack hits twice. I kind of forgot that happened. After one wave is done, these guys are going to spawn again. So once you kill, I think, one of the big guys is when they spawn. I got the invincibility on. That's why I did that for. Because I just, you know, I paid no mind. If they're getting too close and you can't really use rifle quick enough, just use revolver on the guys that explode, and that should hopefully keep them away from you long enough. Or at least just, you know, make sure that they back up a little bit. That's one thing I tend to try to do. It seems to kind of help sometimes. So there you go. Pretty much just easy enough fight, not that bad. Easy enough. Died once, I know. I died once in like almost every fight here. But weirdly enough, I don't know how I did it, but Parasiter. And oh my god, okay. So how do I explain Parasiter? Well, if you have the upgrade that I have, where he will drop health when you hit a weak spot, that will help you. That will help tremendously. The best advice for this fight I can give you is you're going to have to face tank a lot of this. I'll talk about each attack specifically, so just when you aim for that, just let him fall. Don't go bother, don't go punch him. Just worry about the other tentacle. You can get 4 punches on a tentacle. Keep that in mind. There are telegraphs for which attack is going to happen, whether it's going to be the 3 slam or the 1 slam. The telegraphs are, I think, that one right there, like when he shakes his head back like that, that's going to be the, I'm going to stay on the ground for a bit. One thing you can do is 4 punches into a shotgun, or recommended probably 3 punches into shotgun, so you can get just a little bit extra damage. And when you're fighting a specific tentacle, just stay within their lane. As in, like the left one right now, like try to stay close to the left side more so than the right, so you can have less time to run up and jump and try to hit them. That's one big key aspect, I think. Sometimes you can get like an extra little punch off when he's doing the 3-hit combo thing, but I also don't really recommend it. Phase 1's probably one of the easiest things to go through. It's not that bad. Just when he's doing the acid stuff, don't do what I'm doing right there. Instead, sprint underneath the arch and then kind of like start rolling so you can kind of avoid the rest of them. Or like sprint from one side to the other underneath the arch. Like come back to like the background here so that he shoots it further out, and then you sprint underneath and then just avoid it that way. So first phase, not that bad. Now we're going to head into the second phase. This part's not too bad either. You can sprint this or you can just dodge it like I am. And luckily enough, the health does usually stay around the field long enough so you can just go grab it. And yeah, there you go. That's phase 1 down. Whenever you can get a quick shot, just go for it. When he spawns these guys, it takes 3 hits to kill. Phase 2, he only spawns 1. And it usually is always in the middle. It's usually never anywhere else. So this phase, you're going to want to pay attention more so to the spawner than you are the tentacles. At this point, if you've got enough practice, you should kind of understand that, like, okay, I'm going to focus on this instead and not them. And the reason why you want to focus on the thing in the middle is because, well, they spawn like 3 of those exploding guys, and that sucks. But you could also get, as you saw there, the tentacles to destroy it for you. So that's another thing too. You want to kind of go for that middle so that way they just go ahead and get hit by that. And every chance that you think that a quick draw is going to come up, take that chance. But they can acid spit on it. They can break it in any way. So that's kind of what I'm trying to get them to do sometimes, while also trying to focus on them at the same time. I know this is really, irritating. I understand that. And I'm probably not giving the best advice. I'm sure someone else out there has probably way better advice than I do. I will say this, though. Hang on to the cross. Just in case things get a little bit ugly in terms of, like, the exploding guys. Because I haven't really tried it on, I don't think, on the Parasiter, but I don't think the cross really works on him. But it could. However, I would say, like, if you start getting overwhelmed, then use the cross to kind of keep the guys off of you. So third phase, he's going to start doing this even in the phase itself. And that's the part that sucks. But do keep in mind that I am face tanking all of this stuff. I'm trying my best to keep my health going as much as I possibly can. And if I'm able to get any of those health to pop up, I'm trying to get that to happen too. And one way to have that happen is by killing off the spawners. So that's why, again, they should be priority number 1 for the most part. And he'll always typically do, the main guy will typically do a slam into the tree, knock things down, and then spawn these. Now, here's the thing, though. When there's 2 of them, don't worry about the second one. Don't even bother shooting it. Don't mess with it. They only spawn 2. I thought it was 3. They only spawn 2 guys. So instead, let them spawn in, stay far away, shoot them, and then go back to focusing on the tentacles. When it's in the middle, it's only going to spawn the 1 guy. That right there, whenever they spawn those spawner things, that's your opportunity for health back. So you got to keep on your toes pretty much the entire time. You still have, of course, the circle B maneuver that you can use to your advantage. I think I missed the shotgun there. That was my bad. So yeah, just focus on like either the right or left. Break it in 3 hits. Just be quick about it. The left tentacle cannot reach you from the left side if you're on the right side. But he can shoot you, though. So that's something else to be careful of as well. That's something else to kind of keep in mind, I guess. They can't really reach that far, thankfully. Only for melee attacks, though. Only for melee attacks. And yeah, see, whenever they spawn in the middle, he's going to shoot like maybe 3 times, give or take, if both tentacles are around. So just do what you can and hold out as long as you can. This is just basically just a big giant movement. This is just a big giant movement, the fight. And when you take out 1 tentacle, the rest is pretty much just easy at that point. Because once 1 is down, he's going to do the spit acid thing. And then all you need to do now is just focus on this 1 dude. This 1 tentacle, just break 1 spawner. You know, the same thing, just rinse, lather, repeat. So, yeah, silly me just being quirky over here, trying to shoot those guys too early. We got really lucky with what he was trying to do, though, too, which is nice. Because, again, when he shakes his head back like that, he's going to go for the slam thing. And that's the Parasiter. So, that's it for the chapter. Take care, everybody.